Every year, the students follow the same books, same material, same OMR sheet. But what is the differentiator? If you really want to crack prelims, you need to understand what works for you and what does not work. In this video, I'll share one very important part of your preparation outcome approach, that is subject-wise micro strategy to boost your prelim score. Now, question is that if you're really targeting prelims, this is the key approach. Now, what you need to do that pick the pen and paper, make notes for the next 10 minutes, understand what I'm saying, and you can also share the video with your friend who is stuck in around 70-80 score, and make sure that you'll make the good learnings out of it. The idea is to focus on the outcome. Okay, so what is the differentiator? The first differentiator is the differentiator of prelims. Now, prelims will be a very tough game because prelims is the most competitive part of the examination. Now, when you look at the rules, let's start with a few rules. The first is fewer sources. One standard book, important NCRTs, subject-wise approach, decoding the requirements of how to attempt the MCQs, tests, PYQs, then the CSAT decode strategy. This I'll create a separate video, and 4-layer revision strategy, that how you should do that. Remember, UPSC will reward you not for how much you are making an effort. UPSC will reward you based on how much you score. Your prelim score will be the signifier here. And that is where it is important to understand. Now let's talk about the subjects. So you have polity. Now what do? Polity, just be very clear. In Lakshmikant, that is the only Bible for preparation. Here Lakshmikant identify the chapters. I'll be sharing a different strategy videos where the chapters of Lakshmikant will also be there. So 5 chapters or maybe important chapters have to be followed, and focus on the areas where maximum question come. For example, the strategy for provisions, constitutional logic, fundamental rights, union government, state government, in union government, parliament, money bill, vice president was in news. So always link with that and identify what works. For example, right now, MCQ battle strategies, when you look at the scores, when you look at the question, you have to see what are the differentiators in questions. How do I score it better? So in polity, keep minimum source. 1, NCRT, class 11th, Indian Constitution at work. The second is selectively following Lakshmikant, selectively, again, follow which sources or which topics will give you maximum yield, and make sure those topics are ready, and link up again with current. Modern history, I would advise 2 main sources. One is the old NCRT and new NCRT and spectrum. So broadly, spectrum is for factual part of covering that, but mainly old and new NCRT. And here you have to understand the most of the questions come maybe after 1830 or 1857 rather. So focus on that in terms of topics, Congress sessions, acts, Gandhian movement. And again, remember the chronology of the events are very important. Try to interlink, do that mapping. See, if you study history in a logical way, history is a very scientific subject. A lot of people feel that history is about data, fact. Yes, but it is a very logical, and there are a lot of strong interlinkages. Just following basic NCRT will do that. Ancient medieval, again, NCRT selected topics. In the comment section, I'm going to share you some topic sources, important list, and you can follow that. Focus on cultural markers, literature, architecture, religion. Eliminate anachronism, wrong era mix. So anachronism means which thing happened in which era, which period, which zone. Now that is where you have to have that mapping part very ready, and that will help you to identify and filter that. Geography, only NCRTs very thoroughly, and focus on mapping the current topic. UPSC will not ask anything randomly, and if it asks, I'm going to leave it. Physical features, location, memory, mark doubtful directional statement carefully. Now this is something, again, just by telling you in few minutes it will not work, but you can also come to our inner circle session, which happens every Wednesday, and from in the new year, from next so from 2026 first week onwards, I'm going to share the details. Come and see the strategies, and it will make a huge difference to your learning process. Then economy, again, the basics have to be covered, and the budget, survey, topic of concept, application, data, fact. Eliminate by principle, logic. Environment, again, NCRT 4 chapters of biology and PYQs. Nothing else. Nothing else. आपको NCRT biology का 4 chapter करना है, and your PYQs compilation. And if you have done some coaching, your coaching notes. Remember, coaching notes are very important because coaching notes will help you to consolidate. Here also in these previous subject, your coaching notes अगर आपने बनाए हैं, that will be the primary source. Identify features, art forms, protected areas, conventions, species. Avoid overthinking, current overlap. Overthinking, stress, avoid that. Art and culture, CCRT and PYQs. Art and culture class 11th, Introduction to Fine Arts, CCRT and PYQs. Identify features, art form, heritage, and spot misplaced geography. Many a times questions are asked on that. And then science and tech, selective current topics, selective NCRTs, and avoid wild guesses on obscure biotech terms. Now, because biotech में बहुत सारे questions आते हैं, and this is where the problem is faced by the aspirants. Now, coming to now see the pattern of the questions in last 10 years. When you look at the last 10 years, there is no common trend. So you can't go with the approach that this will work this year and this will not work next year. So when you see the fluctuation, if you see the pattern in some year, for example, these are 4 subjects: history, polity, economy, geography, because these are the core subject. But definitely the questions which are asked broadly, if you see, so good number of questions come from all the areas. For example, but there is a variation. In polity, 7 question and 9 question came, but average 12 to 15 questions always there. In history, you will always find 15 plus questions, always average, always 15 plus questions, 15, 20, 22. In economy, again, you'll find that average 15 plus questions are there. In some year, the question were less, but mostly. In geography, again, you'll find 10 to 12 questions very thoroughly. In some year, they have asked 15, 16 questions also. So these are core subject. Here you have to score very high. And here the static part, if you see, the static part has to be very thorough. Now what I do here in the static part, focus on, see, we live in an era of technology. You don't have to worry about the content. Content overload is already there. Focus on less sources, focus on strategy. I'm here not to share you the content. If you see the last videos, my focus is more on strategy. Content, I'm just sharing maybe 5-10%, because content is available at ChatGPT. Content is available at all these AI-based, prompt system very easily. But structured approach, meaningful data, because I'm going to share topics also, जो prelims में आएंगे, the prelims, and my focus is how do we increase productivity, how do I increase the score, what strategy should we follow, how do I increase my productivity also. That part is also very important, and that is how the approach has to be there. Okay. Now, when you look at, again, if you really want to get connected, you can connect with our mentorship program, that is Edge Learning Hub. In Edge Learning Hub, we have whole mentorship program for 18 months for next year. Then we have prelims and mains, specifically mentorship program. You can connect with us. And remember, what is the difference in this mentorship program? First is challenge. We'll motivate you, challenge you. You'll get access to community where the learning ecosystem, peer learning, group learning will be there. And the best part is that you'll understand how your preparation is moving, and you can know where the gap areas. Clarity. When there is a clarity, you know what to do. Then hard work, which has to be consistent. Second C is consistency. And third is CSE examination requirement that you have to understand. When you do that, UPSC is something that very easily you can crack it. But again, remember, it is not about just hard work. It is about working smartly and sharply. That is the key part. Okay, so you can connect with us and see the difference. And we have proof of concept to show how results happen. Now, you can like the video, subscribe to the channel, and be regular for input updates. So history stays 12, peak in 1820, non-negotiable. Okay, this is a core area. Geography, again, visible jump, map-based questions, concepts, very important. They ask deep concepts. Polity, wide swing. Don't assume polity hamesha heavy rahega. Conceptual depth is the key again, because let's say polity questions are less or it is tough, then you can definitely rely on other areas. In UPSC, every area will not have similar weightage. There'll be areas which will be easy, so you have to make sure you capitalize on that. Economy, 10 to 18 questions, relatively stable, strongly linked with the current schemes and basics. Again, focus on the concepts. Remember, prelims is not a knowledge test. Prelims is a decision making under pressure, under uncertainty. Prelims is not a knowledge test. It is knowledge, but it is more about decision making under the pressure. So prelims is about knowledge, application of knowledge, decision making, and confidence. It is a test of accuracy, remember. So accuracy is the best weapon. Focus on accuracy, improve the accuracy. Always get fixated with the idea. Be obsessed that how can I increase my accuracy? And I am obsessed with you. I make sure that you will get selection. If you have 1% believe in yourself, I have 99% believe in you. Just take 1% step, 99% will be taken from my side. So thank you very much. Do like the video, subscribe to the channel, Get connected for the learning preparation updates and the ecosystem that we are creating for mentorship. That will transform everything. Thank you very much. God bless you. Crack prelims without overwhelming fear. 2026. Bye.